So today's video, I want to talk about remakes in Call of Duty, specifically map remakes, and how they've gone way too far in recent years as far as not just how much recycled content we're getting, but how much of it is recycled content of recycled content, like maps that we've seen in multiple Call of Duty games. And I'm not just talking about Nuketown and Shipment. Those are the maps that you kind of just expect is going to be in every game. Like, you know, Nuketown's going to always be in every Treyarch game, and Shipment, I guess, is going to be in every Infinity Ward and Sledgehammer game at this point. But there's other maps like Express and Raid, which are maps that were already done in not just the original game, in Black Ops 2, but also in Black Ops Cold War. We got those maps already in Cold War, and we're getting them again in Black Ops 7. Same thing with Standoff. We got Standoff, another Black Ops 2 map, coming to Black Ops 7. It's going to be part of Season 1. And not only did we get it in Black Ops Cold War, but we also got it in Black Ops 3 as well. If you guys remember Outlaw, which was a Wild West interpretation of Standoff in Black Ops 3. Yeah, so this would be the fourth mainline game now that we got Standoff. And Standoff is a good map. I have no problem against these maps. Against Raid, I have no problem against Standoff. I have no problem against Express. But the issue that I have is that we just keep seeing the same maps over and over and over again, to the point where I honestly just don't want to see them anymore. And also, Hijacked was another map that came from Black Ops 2, was also in Black Ops 3, and again, was also in Black Ops Cold War. So, a lot of these maps we're seeing 4 times, which I think is way too much, honestly, when you have a lot of other great maps from games that you don't get to see from. So, for example, Black Ops 3. The only remade Black Ops 3 map that we've gotten so far in a mainline Call of Duty game was Fringe in Black Ops 6. But there's so many other great maps from Black Ops 3. I think of maps like Aquarium, Redwood, Metro, Infection. That was a classic. There are so many amazing maps. There honestly weren't any bad maps in Black Ops 3. And then when you get to the DLC, you also had maps like Splash and Verge, Citadel, Micro, you know, the one with all the food and everything. Yeah, those are all great maps as well. But so far, despite Black Ops 3 being a decade-old game at this point, it's not a recent game, we only got one map reintroduced in modern Call of Duty. Now, I suspect part of that is they're going to save a lot of that for Black Ops 8 when we get basically, you know, how Black Ops 6 was a follow-up to... Well, it was really a follow-up to Cold War, but it was, you know, a follow-up to Black Ops 1 as well. While Black Ops 7 is a follow-up to Black Ops 2, I think Black Ops 8 is going to be a follow-up to Black Ops 3. So we're going to get a return to the advanced movement that you had in BO3 with the jetpacks and the wall running and all that stuff. I think they're going to just bring that completely back in BO6. And as a result, a lot of the maps, especially, you know, had a lot of wall running elements to them, like Redwood, for example. They're just going to bring them into Black Ops 8. So, you know, I guess fair enough when it comes to that, but they could have also easily redesigned some of these maps to take off some of the wall running that was essential in some of the, and just rework them, and you still get the core experience, you know, but yeah, I'm just sick of seeing the same ones like over and over again. Like, okay, if you're going to just bring over maps from Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2, that's not necessarily a terrible thing, but we also need more variety. How about maps like Grid? We didn't get Grid remastered before from Black Ops 1. How about Launch, or Villa, or Radiation, or all the amazing DLC maps from Black Ops 1, like Discovery, Stadium, Kowloon, Convoy, Hotel. I loved Hotel back in the day. It was the best search and destroy map ever made. Stockpile, Hangar 18, Silo. We did get a couple of DLC maps remastered or re-released from Black Ops 1. It was Drive-In and Zoo, which were brought into Black Ops Cold War, which was nice, but it's not a very common thing to get, like, DLC maps that a lot of people who even played the game back in the day did not get to experience, you know? So I like when they bring back maps like that, that are more obscure but also like really well designed, and I think would be a lot of fun in the newer games. And to be fair, in Season 1 of BO7, we are getting Meltdown from Black Ops 2, which was also a great map that we haven't seen redone before. But there's also a lot of great maps from BO2 that we haven't gotten redone, like Plaza and Cargo and Carrier, and amazing DLC maps like Mirage and Encore and Rush. My point is, there are so many great maps from previous Call of Duty games, or even just previous Treyarch games, that they can reintroduce for the first time since the original game's release that the map was on, but instead, they pick like 3 or 4 or 5 maps that they want to bring back like every single time and re-release it like 4 or 5 different times. Like, I just don't necessarily understand why that has to be the case, and why you can't give, you know, if you're going to recycle content, at least give more variety in the content that you're going to recycle, and not just give us the same shit over and over again, to the point where, yeah, if I see Hijacked or Raid win the map vote, I'm just going to back out and find a different lobby. That's where I'm at right now, because I've played it so many times in multiple different Call of Duty games at this point that I'm feeling a little bit fatigued. You know, that's what happened back in BF3 with Operation Metro, where it was just constantly I was playing on Metro. I played it during the beta, then I played a lot of it, you know, when the actual game was released, and I'm just like, I got so sick and tired of it by the time they brought it back in Battlefield 5. I'm like, I never want to play this map ever again. Please no. It's also the ratio of recycled content versus original content that is also a little bit concerning. So in Season 1, we're getting 7 maps, which is crazy. I think that's actually a really good amount of content for one season for multiplayer maps. We're getting 4 original and 3 remakes. So it's going to be like half recycled, half original content, roughly. I'm like, yeah, I wish it was a little bit more than that, because back in the day, in Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3, and even Black Ops 1 and Modern Warfare 2 started to do it a little bit, but it was done sparingly. Like, not to the point where it was like half of the new content you were getting was maps from previous games. And, you know, a lot of that was obviously because the series was relatively new at the time, so there wasn't as much that you could recycle. But still, I didn't mind it in Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3. But by the time, like, Black Ops 4 came around, I was starting to be like, okay, I'm starting to have enough of this. I want some more original stuff, please. But the other problem that I end up finding is that maps that I enjoyed in the original game, I do not enjoy in the current one. So, for example, I hate Hijacked in Black Ops 7, not because I suddenly don't like the map design anymore, but because the movement is twice as fast as it was in Black Ops 2, and that was already a map that was, like, very fast-paced compared to the other maps in the game, that it's, like, it's a little bit too much for me. Like, there is no breathing room at all, and it's just constant gunfights with no space in between because everyone's running around so quickly. I feel like Raid plays a lot better in Black Ops 7 than Hijack does, but the biggest example for me would be Modern Warfare 2023 bringing back every original map from Modern Warfare 2 2009, and me just not having a good time because it's like, okay, yeah, obviously the gameplay and the gunplay and everything is just so wildly different compared to Modern Warfare 2, and the maps didn't all translate very well to the new Modern Warfare experience. Not to mention, having 100% recycled content as your main selling point, I was like, nope! So I didn't even play Modern Warfare 3 until after its life cycle was already finished. It was like 50% off on a Black Friday sale when Black Ops 6 was already out, and you know, I thought that it wasn't a very good game. And a huge part of that was the amount of unoriginal maps. That being said, the original maps that they did bring in season updates were fantastic. Actually, the best maps that we've ever gotten in the entire Modern Warfare reboot trilogy. And I feel the same way about Black Ops 7. The original maps are incredible. And I'm okay with map remakes used sparingly, but I think they're being done way too much, and we're getting the same maps over and over again, and there's no actual creativity that goes into the recycling content. Because back in the day, you had maps like Uplink in Black Ops 2, which was a complete recreation of Summit, but instead of the snow, it was raining, and there are a lot of other maps that did that as well, that took the map but completely changed the aesthetic and appearance of it, even though the layout was exactly the same. We don't really get that anymore. We did get that last year in Black Ops 6. WMD no longer had snow in it. And weirdly enough, WMD is another example of a map that has been redone so many times. It was in Black Ops 1, Black Ops 4, Black Ops Cold War, and Black Ops 6. We got 4 versions of WMD, which is insane. But let me know in the comment section, what do you think about map remakes in Call of Duty? Do you think they're a problem? Or do you think that they're done just right the way they are right now? Where, yeah, it's nice to have a lot of old classics being reintroduced. And it has a lot of positives, especially people who weren't around back in those days to play the maps. They get to experience them. But yeah, I think we can use a little bit less of it, in my opinion. And less of the same maps over and over again. That would be nice.